Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me for today's tutorial. So this is a Simply Made Crafts tutorial and we have a brand new evening bag die set. So this is from my brand new handbags collection. Now here it is. I'm trying to hold it up so that it doesn't get too bright for you. So this is a beautiful little bag. I'm halfway through making all of my samples, but I'm just popping on just to make this tutorial as I go along. So this one has been made from some black gloss cardstock. I will link that down below. And we have some brand new papers as well with the collection. These are beautiful. This is the Florals and Plaid paper pack. As you can see, absolutely wonderful designs, and you can add black to this as well. That is absolutely lovely and stunning, especially with some floral papers inside a black bag. And you can also make this bag with straight from the papers as well. So I've got this purple tartan style check one here, and again you can even just use ordinary cardstock. This is just some violet or lilac shaded cardstock. I've gone into it with some Distress Oxide inks and just with one of these brushes here, and yeah, this is absolutely lovely. So I have one of the accents here. I'll show you the die set in a second. So that opens up. That's absolutely perfect for popping in some treats, as you can see there. Alright, so I've used a little bit of Velcro. I will pop the links for everything that I've used down below. And let's have a quick look at the die set. Okay, so here are your main dies, and I've got the accessories behind. So you need to die cut two of these. One of these, this is the gusset here. So you need to die cut two of those, and here is the handle. It's got stitch detail as well. Again, we have all this beautiful stitch detail here, and these two little slots there, that is what the handle ends slot into. Okay, and we also have the stitch detail around here, and this embossing bar feature here as well. That will go through all in one. There's no secondary posting through again, so that will do it all in one pass. And I believe this will fit on a standard sized die cutting machine. Yes, it will. I'll be using my A4 machine because I can get multiple die cuts done at the same time. Okay, so here are the accessories. We have this lovely chain across the top here, so I've popped that on top of the bag handle, and we have this lovely flower here. And again, I think I just need to add a little gem just to the center there, just to finish that off. We have a tassel, which I have already made up. There we go. Beautiful tassel. You don't even have to keep it for this die set. You can mix it and match it with any other dies that you have, especially if they're handbags. We have this little topper there. You can add that to the top of your tassel, and we have here a feather, again adding lovely accessories to your bag, and this geometric gemstone as well. Okay, so I've die cut everything out already. So I did have a little bit of a change of plan when I was die cutting out. I thought maybe this would look great if I mixed and matched some of the papers with this faux leather look here, the pink faux leather, and everything. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to pop this back into the envelope, and I can use this again, or you can keep it with the pack of papers. So that's what I do there. If I get any extra die cuts, I will pop them in there. So everything here has been scored already. If you do have any trouble here folding this over, sometimes it wants to fold where this embossed score line is. So if you do have a little bit of trouble, especially if you're using a thicker cardstock, this cardstock's okay, this paper is okay, so I can just quickly do that. But if you have a thicker cardstock, just go in there with your scoreboard and just reinforce that line, otherwise you'll be folding it in at the wrong place. Okay, so it needs to be folded. I'll keep this the right way around. It needs to be folded below the stitched line. It's easier if I do it this way though, so we'll work upside down. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder as well, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold all of the score lines on all of these pieces here. Okay, so we've moved on to the handles now. Everything's folded and ready to go. This bag goes together super fast, so I'm just going to glue these two together and then set this aside. So what I like is, I'll show you a quick example here, is this handle here. Having two layers will reinforce it, but it will also add the pattern underneath, because this is white backed patterned paper. If you're using double-sided pattern paper, you don't really need to do this unless you want to strengthen it. But let's get this popped together now. So just add your glue. I'm using Cosmic Shimmer. Add the glue along there. Line them up. They're exactly the same size. It's just a simple rectangle shape with some score lines, so it will line up nicely. Okay, I'm going to set that aside now just to dry off. Let's pop that over there. Right, let's move on to this one now. So we're going to start off with our side piece, and we're going to pop this on just like that, just a quick dry run. Okay, and we're going to just line everything up just like that. Okay, and if you want to, what would look really good is if you've matched this patterned cardstock here with die cut it. Oh, I can't talk today. Do this out of this pattern paper for the side gussets and it will look lovely. But for me that was an afterthought, so I always do things like that. Afterthoughts are just afterthoughts, aren't they? So it just means that you'll make a nice one next time. Right, so let's get this together. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I am making sure that my score lines are matching up with the score line for the gusset. So these are our base flaps here. These will create the bases, or the base. So what you really want is these all to be lined up there, and it will all line up at the top as well. But it's just that little bit of extra time that you spend lining things up that will give you a really nice, neat project at the end. Okay, so you should have something that now looks like that. Let's turn it over here, and it doesn't matter which side you pop this on. You can pop it on there, you can pop it on there. So just add your glue to this bottom flap here, and then we can add that to the bag. It's a lot easier adding this lid here, the lid flap, whilst this is all flat, because once you've made it into 3D it can become a little bit fiddly. Wouldn't this make a lovely wedding bag or a table favour, mother of the bride gift? Oh, I'm getting loads of ideas now. Okay, so I'm going to add some glue now just to here, and if you want to you can use tape if you really want to. Everyone knows I love this glue, so that is what I'm using today. Again, this is a funny odd shape, so I'm having to put this together like this whilst it's in its 3D shape. Otherwise, if it was an ordinary shape, I'd be adding this lying down flat. So, well, actually I might get away with this. There we go. What am I thinking? There we go. Lie that down flat and you can just press that down. There we go. There goes my brain. Right, let's get all this glued together now. So I do have a trick here. So this is the front of the bag, because the flap goes round like that. Okay, so I want this to be my last flap because it's a nice and neat edge. If I close it like this, you're going to sort of see that when it stands up. So even though it's a very small visible thing, it's a nice little finishing off detail. So I'm adding glue just along the flap there. This is the front flap, and then we can glue that closed. There we go. And it's almost seamless due to the faux leather pattern on here. Okay, so grab your bone folder and just press everything down, and there we have it. We're almost done. So let's sort out the handle, and then I'm going to be moving on to the fastening. Now, if you have metal, like the real handbag metal stuff, you can actually use those on these bags. Use a hot glue gun for that, but I'm just going to stick with these super slim flat Velcro. If you've been following me for a while, you know I absolutely love these ones. I did have a pack of 100. I've used them all up. So that's how many I've used over the years. Okay, so grab your bone folder and just do that like you're curling a ribbon, and that will give you the nice curved handle. And then we do have these little score lines here that you can just fold upwards like that, and then we're going to add glue just to these flaps there, these little tabs just on the top side. Hoping you can see that, it's just on the top side there, and we're just going to feed them through the holes. Now what I've done is I've chosen a contrasting, it is contrasting, it's the same pattern as the main bag. I've taken that as the main, and then this pattern breaks it up, and then we have the main pattern again as like an accent colour. It really does, it's really pleasing to the eye, I think, when you do things like that, when you break things up like that. So as you can see, that is absolutely stunning. That's perfect mother of the bride gift right there, especially if you've got weddings coming up this year. Let's pop these out. I have no idea where we are on weddings and stuff, so I'm sure everything is back to normal. Okay, I'm going to cut that in half because there's no use using the full one, because it's going to be far too big, and you can get away with having these half the size. Plus, this was like a pack of 18. That's doubled if I cut them in half. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there. There we go. Now there is a key to this, right? The first one, there's a few keys. Just line everything up before you press down, so you're happy that the lid isn't, or the flap isn't going off to the side. You're happy that it's straight, and then you can kind of press that down. All right, next we need to lift this up, but very carefully, so we're not lifting up. We haven't pressed this down fully, one, because it would squash our bag, and two, we haven't pressed this down fully. I can't remember now. I can't remember my second point. Anyway, let's lift this up very carefully. If you want to, you can get a bone folder or a pokey tool just to help you lift this up. The bonding hasn't been created because you haven't pressed down, because you can't press down because you'll squash the box. So we do have to be very careful in lifting this up. There we go. Now it will want to kind of come away. Can you see that it's coming away just at the bottom there? There we go. Right, so I've got those separated. Now we can get our fingers in and give them a good press. So I know a few people do have a bit of trouble with the their Velcro coming off in this manner, but if you're very careful and gently lift it off, press everything down. I've got my hand in there, I'm supporting the back, and I'm just pressing that down. So once I've done that, I now have Velcro that is on properly. There we go. That was really easy to lift off, and this didn't come off because we've done all of the pressing. Okay, so that is a quick little tip. So that is the evening bag. I absolutely love this. I need to put the lid on this. Right, so there we have it. This is an absolutely wonderful gift bag. I can't wait to make some more now from the other pattern papers. I think this one's my favourite so far. I really love this one. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.